All right, we're gonna rant for like 3 minutes, and then we're gonna officially start. Um, so Nevis, this AI note taker extraordinaire, just raised $40 million. So what's fascinating is because I'm on the expert networks like Tegus and Alpha Sites and stuff.
Oh,
When
sure.
private equity is interested in companies, I get notified. So it's like Nevis raises a bunch of money, and then they like reach out to me like, "Hey, what do you know about Nevis?" I'm like, "I don't know anything about Nevis because I scheduled a demo and they canceled the demo because they had 1,000 firms sign up."
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
which I'm realizing like raising money is kind of the best marketing you can do. All you have to do is like throw a really big number on a raise, and it's like better marketing than even getting Josh Brown to invest in your company.
yeah, it's really hard to raise $40 million though. That's the counter. So good for them. That's an amazing
Yeah,
fundraiser.
it's crazy.
How do you raise $40 million?
I've never done it.
You got to be a
I don't know. I wish I knew.
work at Revolut and be a really good storyteller. Yeah,
Yeah.
we know how to raise 3 in Utah, and it's
Different
work
world.
really, really hard and get people bought in.
3 is good. Actually, the more I talk to people, the more I hear that like getting outside capital is actually bad for the business. It Getting private equity sometimes runs a business into the ground because they have to it forces them to focus on like the wrong metrics.
Yeah, I think early stage VC is pretty aligned with founders, and I think that
Yeah.
becomes more true later on.
Okay.
Yeah, because they just want you to grow, and we just want to grow. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good to hear.
yeah, kind of depends.
All right, let's go ahead and officially start. Um, this is the 12th episode of the AdvisorTech Book Live podcast. Today we have Thomas and Max. Thomas is the one on the right, and Max is the one
That's
on the
me.
left. From Slant CRM. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, Joe.
Good to be here.
Stoked.
So tell us about this Slant NASA jacket you're wearing, Thomas.
Well, Slant NASA jacket. We launched end of August, and Hunter, he's on our sales team. He's awesome. He surprised the whole team. He made these for the team. And one of the coolest moments of running the company was launch day because we had a lot of excited users. We had people coming to the website and seeing this was like, wow, people, including our employees, like really care. And I wear it a lot because of that. But it's a launch. We're trying to build something great. Like we want it to feel special. And this is one of the little ways we could do it as a team.
Yeah, no, I'm very active on LinkedIn in case you guys didn't know, but I plug Slant a lot on LinkedIn, and even the consultants and like the advisor adjacent people are like, "Wait, should I be using Slant for my CRM?" And I'm like, "Absolutely. It's better.
We love that.
It's better than HubSpot or
Yeah,
uh,
we're trying to get there. It's fun. We appreciate the early support from Joe
the
Moss. It was
the
awesome.
least annoying CRM. There's actually a CRM called the least annoying CRM.
I know
Yeah.
that comes up quite a bit. But
We have
yeah,
a couple people in the audience. We got Brian and Chris joining us. Hey guys, you can chat if you want, if you have questions or snide comments you want to make, or you can also spam the reactions if you want, which are down below.
Oh, nice.
All right. Well, this is a podcast about AdvisorTech and about books. Are you guys reading any cool books currently?
Max is reading a bunch right now.
Yeah, I read fantasy books, so I just started Red Rising is a fun fantasy series that I'm halfway through book 1 and had to take a I've read a lot of Brandon Sanderson lately, and that is quite an investment. And so I'm taking a little pause and moving to something else. So that's my current reading.
I can't say I've read any fantasy. My wife and son are reading Harry Potter right now. I don't know if that counts as fantasy.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
that for sure counts as fantasy.
I mainly read like business entrepreneur or marketing books by like this nut job, Seth Godin.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
he did a
No,
webinar with the podium one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That's awesome.
no, actually, I think he's one of like the most gifted writers in
Oh,
the
yeah.
world. right now. I read his daily email, which is pretty much always epic, which is cool.
What are you reading? You reading anything right now?
I'm cranking through Charlotte's Web with Martha, which is pretty fun.
Okay.
That's a good one.
It's a banger.
I know.
That's a classic.
Great book. And then I've been, because of Max and another advisor,
Oh yeah, you're reading.
I'm reading Mistborn, which is the first Brandon Sanderson book. And then I recently finished 10x is greater than 2x. I mean, that's what I call it.
Yeah.
Great book.
Easier. 10x is easier than 2x.
Yeah.
The biggest lie ever. Actually, it's not a lie, but
well, it's like, I feel like Pageport to Slant is kind of showing us that world. Like Slant is a more ambitious product. It covers more real estate. It's like people everyone's like, I don't want to change my CRM. You got to integrate. And then the minute we really went all in on saying, let's do the harder thing, we've had faster growth, better, like everything. So I think we felt like we lived a little.
Yeah, I mean, the AI note taker space has absolutely blown up, but from pretty early on, I was like, we're solving the wrong problem, or this should be part of CRM, or like I started saying that pretty early, but yet, they're continuing to grow, and now there's like this AI overlay-ish category. And it's like advisors use a lot of tools that are going to want to bring that data all together in a seamless way, and I'm still like, yeah, it still belongs in the CRM. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah, I obviously we agree it belongs in the CRM. That's why.
Obviously.
Yeah. So people talk about their data lake and their data mansion and their data dog, but we're all about CRM. It's where we want to be.
Yeah, I think like the other strategy is not. I don't think it's a dumb strategy from Jump and Zox and the other companies. I think when you're building CRM, you're playing a much longer game. It is more difficult to get someone to switch over from one CRM to another. You have to switch your whole system. You have to believe in the system. You have to build a lot of stuff to get there. The advantage of not doing that, like Jump and Zox have had such rapid growth because you could just say yes and turn it on, and then it just kind of did its job. And so there wasn't a whole lot of migration things. Not a big learning curve. Like it was like the ultimate easy to adopt tech, and now they're approved at BDs and are selling into BDs where CRM would be much harder rip at all those shops. So I think that's their strategy. Our strategy is we think AI can be a lot deeper than a note taker. And in order to do that, you have to be connected into everything. And I think the existing CRMs don't really give you that functionality that you would need. When you own all the data, you can integrate with it all better and safer and just deliver a better product. And so that's why we're building CRM is less for note taker. That's like a feature we have, but we want to be like the AI system for your entire business. And to do that, we have to be more than meetings. And so we're building the whole system.
Yeah, no, it makes sense to me. The team from Nitrogen is building a meeting OS system, and I'm like, why aren't you guys building a CRM? Like, to have a CRM and then a separate like meeting management system just doesn't make any sense to me. But let's get into your background a little bit. So what's maybe a little bit of background on each of you, and then what brought you to building in the CRM category?
Yeah, I can start. We're in Utah. We're in person in Lehi, Utah. That's where our office is. I grew up in the Bay Area in California, came to BYU to go to school, then went on my Latter-day Saint mission to Denmark. And I met Max in Denmark as a missionary.
Oh.
It's a wild place to meet someone. But, there's not a lot of people to teach, but there's a lot of time to talk to each other. So we had a lot of ideas while we were there. And then at BYU, studied economics. And then I worked at Podium, which was a great YC unicorn company just up the road here. Yeah. And then Not, which is a super fast growing video platform. And then Max had a great idea and we said, let's do it. And that's been Pageport and now Slant. That's what the journey we're on now. But I got 3 little kids, live here in Utah, got a great life.
That's cool. How are you, Max?
Yeah, Thomas and I met in Denmark. So I served my mission in Denmark. Went to BYU. I'm like a massive nerd, so I studied math at BYU, and then became a software engineer after I graduated. Worked at a tech company in Utah that ended up not working out, and then worked at Simple Nexus as a tech company here that got acquired for $1 billion while I was there, and then started this 3 years ago. So um, I have a daughter who's just turned 5, and what else? I love playing golf and writing code, and that's about it.
You should be a financial advisor. I hear like if you're a golfer, you can work with all the retired golfers.
I'll say if you are a financial advisor who lives next to a very nice golf course that's public in the world, and you sign up for Slant, I'll probably come and play golf with you. So
Sweet.
if you live in Kohler, Wisconsin, and you want to sign up for Slant, yeah,
It's your
we might
time.
have a golf round ahead of
Oh,
us.
that's all time.
So, what was the vision for Pageport, and then how did you get to Slant? Because I think it was a pretty like
Yeah.
natural progression based on what your users wanted, right?
I know. I see Ryan Helder in the audience. He should tell you about Pageport. He's like the best Pageport power user of all time. So
Should we bring him in?
if
I
you
feel like
want.
an idiot. I'm saying
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, we started Pageport like Thomas and I always spitball our whole ever since we met. We always spitball business ideas and start businesses and fail businesses, and that's like our background. So like 3 years ago, I filled out a form for a realtor online, and I got called like 18 million times by people, and it was awful. And Thomas was working at Whatnot. There was a video. They do like live stream video sales, and we said, well, everyone should send a video to their new leads. It would be way better than getting 8,000 calls. And so that was the like original idea for Pageport. And then as we built it, it turned into like, well, don't just say if you're sending them a video and getting them to click on something like that inherently is difficult. So you should give them more than just the video. And so we made these one-to-one landing pages for lead conversion. And that was our initial product that we sold to anyone who would talk to us. So photographers and marketing agencies and business, like small business owners, and then financial advisors kind of fell into our laps. Thomas's like childhood
Yeah.
friend, like neighbor friend, is a financial advisor, and he was our first advisor that signed up. And we went to FBA NorCal as our first show ever, and talked to a bunch of people who weren't interested. And then it kind of started really gaining traction with the SmartVestor Pro group of financial advisors, and we kind of built off of that starting 2 years ago.
Yeah, especially like that's who they started using it and talking about it, and then we started building things like Redtail and Wealthbox integration and more advisor specific things that helped them, and that's when our growth really happened. And that I would say like Pageport helped us find. They talk about like product market fit. I think we have like founder market fit with advisors. Like we like to serve them. It's a good group for us. They like we work well together, and I think we found advisors as a group we could really build for. And then off to the races. Then I think we said like, well, what's the next phase of this? No one is happy with their CRM. They use it forever. They're complaining about. They're asking us to build things that we think the CRM should do. And I think as a founder, you just early on you just want to say yes and build something people want. And no one says they want a new CRM. They say like integrate with this or make it better. Like do something on top of it, because switching is inherently painful. And so I think your early DNA, you say yes to all those things, and then you're like, okay, the core problem here is the main operating hub of the business is lousy to use. It's not getting any better. There's the whole tech map is integrating with this thing, and people are adding like 20 tools to get their job done. It feels like 2025 is the best time to launch a new CRM. It's like everyone had dabbled in a million tools, and now you kind of know what really matters and you can go build it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Redtail was the market leader for a while. Redtail was the first CRM I used in the business in 2018 for the financial advisor I was working for. And back then I was like, this UI is outdated.
Yeah.
I didn't love Redtail. I was like a Wealthbox fan back then. And then Wealthbox now has like overtaken Redtail in market share. But I think that it's It's just they just kind of took what Redtail's offerings or features were, and then like copied them and like slightly improved the UI and stuff. But working as a consultant across both of them, like I would see firms switch between go from Redtail to Wealthbox, go back to Redtail, or from Redtail to Salesforce, then back to Redtail. So like I saw CRM transitions in every direction, and people just weren't super happy with any of them. So the CRM category is definitely ripe for some new players, I think.
Yeah, we're all in on that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
we're every day. I mean, Nevis announced their round. Like, there's others, but it feels like even Nevis doesn't loudly stake their claim as being CRM, at least on their website. Like, we love that
Yeah.
we're the only one loudly saying we're the advisor specific AI native CRM.
What? Why did you guys decide to go all in on CRM and not? I think it's just intimidating for a lot of people. I think it's a complicated system to build.
I think we going into this year, our goal was to figure out how to like take a bigger stake in the ground with our business. And um CRM, it felt like there was like a couple of ways to go that were that. Like you could be an AI assistant, you could be um CRM, you could be like you go against like FMG suite and be the whole marketing side of the business. I think there's a couple different ways to go there. We settled on CRM, I think early. Pageport really, as it evolved, became like the features of Pageport were the features that we thought were glaringly missing from the CRM that we
Right.
were frankly surprised it didn't have. So, like email sequences was our first one of those, and then workflows, like real workflows, was our next one. And those two products kind of did a lot of the heavy lifting that we thought the CRM should be responsible for. And so it felt like a natural path that we could get into. I think the other part of it is we have a lot of I have a lot of faith in our like engineering group. We're small but very good.
Yeah.
And we wanted it because of that, like I felt like we should take advantage of the people we have and build something that is bigger than what we would build otherwise. And so CRM is awesome because once you declare your CRM, it kind of gives you permission to think about every add-on that you see around the world and feel like, oh, we could probably just build that into the CRM way easier than going building another tool. So it's like our scouting feature was like, yeah, we saw like Finney getting some traction and thought, oh, this is something I think the CRM should do. And so we built scouting into our tool so you can go search LinkedIn for a bunch of people and automatically sequence them and things like that. And so I think it's just being ambitious and not being afraid of the big problem. I think running
Yeah.
towards the big problem is easier than running away from it.
Yeah. People have just taken problems by the horns. I mean, Jason Wank took custodian.
Mhm.
Custodian was a very difficult problem to solve. The legacy players just have huge market share and huge stickiness. Even still, a lot of advisors are like hesitant to move off custodian, even if there's clearly like a much better one. CRM is a difficult category too. One guy explained it as like tearing up the concrete and like relaying a driveway or something. He's like, it's a whole lot easier to just do some remodeling on the outside than to like tear up the foundation and build from scratch. Um, how how hard is it to move data from one CRM to another?
I think it depends on the systems you're going from. And like for us, we like Red you alluded to this. Redtown Wealthbox have a very, very, very similar data structure.
Right.
I think Wealthbox built a lot of their, I don't know this by any means, but I think they built a lot of their data structure to model Redtails to make migrating from Redtail easy,
Sure.
which makes a lot of sense. I think it also adds a lot of complexity, and I don't think the data structure is particularly awesome. And so we kind of reimagined that. And so I think our migration on our back end is more difficult than probably Redtail Wealthbox. Um, but we have a really good migration tool that we've built, and we're able to bring everything over and map it to different fields. And so, like for an advisor to move over, we can usually migrate from Wealthbox, and yeah, 5 to 10 minutes is how long it takes the whole migration to be complete. and Redtail about the same now.
Yeah,
We've gotten Redtail way.
I've been on 3 today, and they all finished. And the advisor's like, "This looks great. Those 2 wealth box, 1 Redtail."
So finishing the first call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When the team
So
gets,
when
there's some complexity, but usually it's like 1 review.
Yeah.
The next day.
yeah, when did you start building? When did you like go public? And then whatever current numbers you're willing to share, like user count or firms on the platform, would be cool to know.
I like the word "go public." That's a fun way to call it.
Go public.
One day we're gonna go.
Yeah,
public,
one day we'll go public.
but until then, we launched.
Yeah, we hit the beginning of this year. Max and I were like, figure out the next phase of the business. Really, December of last year, a year ago. We hit our company goal that year before, and we're like, okay, what's next? And we did a pivot. How long did you call Peyton? 2 months?
2 months.
January, February, March, we really settled in on let's be a CRM. And we built from March, got the whole team in on being a part of it until, I mean, we still are building, but launched was the end of August.
March to August.
What
I just find fascinating is like most of the AI note takers I've talked to built for at least a year before launching, and some even like a year and a half before launching. And somehow you guys build a CRM in like half the time that they're building AI note takers, which is literally like one feature of a much more complicated product. So was it just like you already had a whole team built out and you'd already been working together and you were just heads down building? Like how were you able to build that quickly?
Yeah, I think there's lots of tailwinds there. Like we have a great team who's really good. And we made the company decision to stop everything except for support on Pageport. So we took our sales guys weren't allowed to sell anymore. They had to go do research for product. And engineers just coded and weren't allowed to do anything else.
Yeah.
And so we really focused all of our efforts in. And so I think there's power in that. I think also like we had been building the pieces of the CRM that didn't exist before with Pageport and had built that for 2 years. And so a lot of that, there's overlap that we were able to bring into the new product. And then software engineers are twice as efficient as they were 2 years ago because of AI. So
Sure.
there's a huge boost of AI as well in helping us build faster.
You know, we talked about internally like known problems, like core CRM functionality. A lot of them were known like, okay, we need contacts, we need a household, we need to add a phone number. Like there was exploring of like how exactly do you accomplish these things, but a lot of it was like, well, we can make a list of things on the whiteboard. That was a big phase at the end of push, was like, we know we got to make these 30 things happen in here. Like,
yeah,
we could do them.
Yeah. So you launched in August. How many firms do you have on the platform?
Past 100 firms now, which is crazy.
Sweet. Yeah.
And just shy of 300 users.
That's amazing. Do you want to do a demo? I think we should do a demo.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, we weren't
Were
planning.
you prepared to do a demo, or you just think it was just a podcast?
No, I demo.
Well, I don't know how demoing on a podcast really works, but we can. Do we talk through it mostly? I guess. How do people consume your podcast mostly? Do they do?
YouTube mainly.
It's mostly YouTube. Okay. Yeah, we can.
But it's on all the podcasts too. But we can talk through it.
Can I close all your tabs?
Yeah.
The share screen is at the bottom, and then you just click either a Chrome tab or a window where you can share your entire screen. But
okay, I guess we'll log in as you.
Yeah.
Okay, share screen. Chrome tab.
Yeah.
Alrighty, this is Slant. And so we'll kind of walk through. This is our main dashboard. Hang on one sec. I'm going to stop sharing. Do you think there's anything on here that people shouldn't see?
No, I'll demo what I know is good, where I have permission.
Okay,
This is
I'm gonna
fun.
have Thomas kind of take over because I don't want to jump into some customer account where you're sharing their emails and it.
No, for sure. Sorry, I send out a description of what we're going to be going over the next day with you guys. I think I scheduled so many podcasts in a row, I kind of fell off my groove.
Yeah, no
You're
worries.
good.
But
You're good. Here. Okay. So right now we're in Slant. One of the simplest, best things in my mind. An advisor should be able to click a button called clients and see all their clients. That's like a mountain of filters and all the other tools similar to prospects. And then I'll come in the Ryan household here. So we're making an AI summary at the top. This is pulling in from email, all the meetings, all the tasks you've done, like a quick hit on who they are. You can customize that agent. Um, and then here I can ask anything about the client, but let's do like, I have a meeting in 5 minutes. What should I know? Let's see what it gives me. Okay, now it gives me like a little bit of personal stuff. So like, okay, he's a Diet Coke drinker. He was in Arizona golfing. That's like from an email he wrote me when he rescheduled a meeting. Our last meeting was about the Secure Act. He's asked for like a rebalancing sheet. Okay, I have like a good quick context there. I could come in here and say, like, draft an email to schedule a review and come in. And I think the big power of Slant is all these things are unstructured. That's coming from so many different sources. Like I don't want to have a field called favorite football team and drink and do they golf, but I
right.
do want to know that stuff. And then here, okay, it looked at time I'm available. Nice that my calendar is available on the 24th, but not the 25th.
24th.
Yeah, not gonna happen. But like emails drafted. I can send this out. I can edit it. I can edit it with AI. Like more and more, I'm seeing users like they're chatting way more than we thought. They're
Hmm.
things they can maybe even easily see or get to. Like they're relying on chat many times. We pull in all the emails so I can see like emails they've sent. If I go to tasks, I can see tasks that have been created. Meetings, the note taker, everyone's familiar with how those work, but we do full video recording, transcription. People can keep what they want in those, speaker breakdown, ask it questions. Here's a summary. That's become super powerful. And we just see the more things we connect, like once a user connects their custodian, it gets more powerful. And when, they start doing the meeting recording and all the emails come in, like that all compounds to be really valuable to the user. But that's like the core value proposition of being AI native is putting all that in. And then the details are where it gets really fun. Like you can build an awesome workflow now, and we have opportunities and a project board and all these different things. I think we try to look at what are advisors really spending time on. Like projects is a great, like everyone is onboarding clients. If you're growing, you need to do that. Right now, that's like usually just a list of tasks. Here, they can see who they're working with. They can move things around. I can jump in like, okay, for Eric, I need to do these two things. And then he's in the next section. But we really admire Shopify as a company. They talk about, can you make the common things easy and the uncommon things possible? And so we're trying to keep that mantra as we build.
No, I mean like this projects feature, which is called workflows and other CRMs. It's Kanban format. It's super easy to build. I'm going to use it personally to run these podcasts. Clearly not with this one because I have a task in my workflow that's like send the agenda the day before.
You just thought we'd go
Uh,
log into your thing.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
no. But yeah, I love how you can drag things around. I love how simple it is to build new project categories. And then you also have the automations or the workflows feature, which is like triggers and things that can kick off on their own, right?
Yeah, workflow is awesome. I love workflows. I'll show you workflows.
I need to play around with it. I haven't had time to
This
dig
will be a
into it
good
yet.
time to see that how crazy it is.
Yeah,
We
workflows.
named them this because we thought what they call a workflow in the other tools, that is not, it's not automated. It's a list of tasks. Like we're trying to
Right.
go, hey, what does this really do?
For some reason,
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
interesting because like
do workflow.
Advise on Wealthbox and Redtail, I think, well, maybe not Redtail, but they all have a projects feature. Then they have a workflows feature. Then some of them have an automations feature.
Yeah, it's because
But you guys are naming them different things, which is a little confusing, but it makes sense.
Yeah, so we have a workflows is like you have all these triggers that you have, right? So if you want to do your annual review or reminder trigger, then you can say 2 weeks before their next reminder is set, then I'm going to trigger this thing off, and I can like add them to a project that's the schedule annual review project, or I can say add a tag to them. I can say send an email directly to them. So you kind of build these out. You could say like, okay, I actually want to branch them on different conditions, and I want the branch to say if they're like an A tier client, then I want to do this. So I'll call this like A tier, and then this is like everyone else. And then an A tier client, I want to like, we're really excited about some future steps coming out. So here you could do like, I'm going to do an AI research step for the household. And I'm going to say like research here. I hate typing. Research the household and study their recent emails and notes and meetings and find me 3 good gift recommendations that are around $200 that I could have for them at their review. And so then that'll come in here. And then in the next step, you can like create a task to buy a gift. So wherever task is.
So you mean you don't need to add like Zapier or Make or N8N to do these kinds of things?
No, like this is, we're trying to have it be those systems. And
Yeah.
so we want to replace, like there's still some things for Zapier, like
Bringing in a tool that
yeah,
we don't integrate with, let's say.
but we don't think the workflow, the common Wealthbox workflow of like add a tag, triggers a zap goes, does a thing, updates. We think that's just an unnecessary abstraction that could just happen in the CRM. So
Yeah.
like buy the gift or something. And then you can like reference previous steps. So then you reference the research step, and then the AI will go research the household. And then in the create task, it'll actually create a task for the person. So that's like an example of a workflow. That's pretty cool.
Do you have some early like super users of this feature, and are you watching like how they're using it?
Yeah. It's a funny thing with workflows is it's like I don't know if this is a good thing to say publicly, but it's like a gym pass a little bit, where it's like everyone kind of has one. Like everyone thinks they want it, and then there's like 10% of people who actually go to the gym religiously, and they're like the power
The
users.
10% who
workflows.
go, they've been
And
at multiple office hours. They're building a ton. They're chatting in a ton. Like, I want to do this next.
That's why you need a user community, because I feel like in a user community, you could literally have like, here are the 17 different ways you can build automations. And then like people can literally like, because that's what I would want to do. I'd want to have like on the screen, like, here's the template I'm following. And then I build it out on my other screen. And then I fire it off. Because most operations people and advisors just aren't that creative. Like they don't want to sit down and try to figure out what kind of automation they want to build. They just want to know what everyone else is using and kind of have a template, you know?
yeah, we're working on a good template library and ability to share workflows across different companies. And so
Sweet.
you could go build your workflow and have it be available to your school community and give everyone access to it if they join, and then they could go download the 5 Joe Moss workflows. I think it'd be like a cool thing. And so we're working on that right now. That's not live yet, but I think there's like ways to build community and share things like that around workflows.
No, for sure. I mean, that's what some of the top CRM consultants have done, where they've worked with Redtown Wealthbox to like create templates, and then it's actually, other advisors can request access to those templates.
Yeah. We're trying to do a similar thing, and we're also trying to make it easy enough for advisors to use without consultants. But someday,
so talking through like
I don't want to tread on consultants. I think there's value in it. But
oh, for sure, no, yeah. So talk about like a client timeline, like as a prospect, like how could an advisor find a prospect? How could they nurture them when they're ready to become a client? How do they use Slant like throughout this whole process all the way to like the annual review cadence?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep stopping sharing my screen. I guess I'll just keep sharing. Yeah, so we have like our scouting tool. Scouting, you can run like scouting reports for very specific niches. So this is like 45 to 50-year-olds in the HVAC industry in Utah. And so I went and searched the internet and found 13 people. You can then add them into your CRM as a prospect. It'll auto enrich all of their data, and bring them in here. And then you can immediately add them to a sequence. And so we have sequencing built out. So like a referral sequence would be, this looks like it's a step of an email and two tasks and another email. And you can kind of see it on a calendar view here. So they do an email task day 1, a task on day 3, an email here, an email at the end. And so that's really how we think like scheduling that first meeting should work. And then our vision is, once they schedule a first meeting, you can have a workflow that says when a meeting is scheduled, then automatically add them to the like new opportunity project. And that would have a series of tasks to prep for the meeting. When the meeting's completed, you'll have a series of tasks to follow up for the meeting. And those will be auto-generated from a project, and through opportunities. And so project is like groups of tasks, and then an opportunity, you can kind of follow someone through the pipeline of becoming a client.
That little calendar icon under sequences, you've got to make it like glow red 3 times or something, because I would never have seen that.
Yeah, I know. The problem is if you're on, yeah, we don't need to get into the UX of it, but I had to hide it because small screens, it was overwhelming. And so
Sure.
I probably should make that louder. It's a little teeny button.
There's yeah, just a way to bring it to people's attention, because those are things like someone would never find on their own, basically.
Yeah, it's good advice. We got UX consultant Joe hat on. We
I
like that.
am, man. I make
No, you are.
recommendations live on these things, and people go and put them into effect the next day.
Yeah. So anyway, that's cool. Other things we do, like we auto enrich data for, this is my brother, so I can probably share it. But every prospect that comes in the system, and client, we auto enrich all their data. And so you can see like where my brother lives, how much equity he has in his house, how much he has left outstanding on his loan, where he works, where he went to school, his income range. And so this is all, we have third-party data providers that provide this. And so a big powerful thing for us on that is like new prospect meeting prep in every other tool sucks because you don't know anything about the person other than their email. New prospect meeting prep for us is really good because we have the data enrichment, and you get an email before your meeting that has all of the updates about what the person is, and you're prepped, and you know that they own 7 houses and have an estimated net worth of $50 million. That's pretty valuable to know. So
yeah, I had a user write me this morning who like they're new, but they had a prospect meeting. It was their first meeting, and the data enriched. He's like, it saved me because he knew she was 61. She worked at like a plumbing supply shop for 20 years. Her house was entirely paid off, and like this person, like, okay, like I know exactly the type of person I'm working with. He said the meeting was way better because he could go in with just way more knowledge. But it's yeah, it's fun.
Is there a way to parse the enrichment a bit? So like I ran it on my sister, and like her address and stuff was correct, but I had pulled the wrong LinkedIn. So I had like the right address but the wrong LinkedIn and employment data. And I could either reject it or I could keep it, but there wasn't a way to like decide which parts of it to keep.
yeah, that's crazy. You got the LinkedIn wrong, and usually when it gets something wrong, it finds the wrong person on LinkedIn, and then it gets everything wrong.
Sure.
I'll have to look at that. I actually haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anyone who it's been partially right. Everyone we've had is either right or wrong. So if the enrichment is wrong, then you can come up here and reject the enrichment.
Right.
And then for prospects, when we add a new prospect, like that person I just added, like it'll have recommended fields. I don't know if that enrichment worked, and probably was good because I probably don't want to show it anyway because I don't know who that is. So
This feature has absolutely spoiled me. So like when I'm working for the firm I work for in a different CRM, and I'm adding a prospect and doing like every single field manually, I'm like, my goodness, every single CRM needs data enrichment built in.
yeah, and we try to do things easy. So like if you have for any future meeting, when you have our internet's slow. Anyway,
Yeah, a person in there.
Yeah, then you can easily add people to. I don't know why that's not loading. You can add, like, if you don't have the people in your CRM, you can one-click add them as a prospect, client, other contact. And then when you do that, it'll automatically enrich them and get all the other information. So pull in their name and everything else. So
Do you want to go through the data types? So like what's a contact, what's a client, what's a household, what's a business, and
yeah,
like how the structure works?
yeah, clients and prospects are households always, and so there's no create a contact, then go create a household, and then link them. Whenever you create a client, if I were to come here and create a client, it would create a household with one
Okay.
person in it. And so that's like our default is we structure clients and prospects as households always. And then other contacts is for like centers of influence, things like that. And so that's just like a contact. It's just a person. And then a business is a business, and you can tie people or clients to a business, and it's kind of like a grouping of a bunch of different things. So those are our 4 core main data structures. And then accounts. We don't have a custodian link to this. So if you had a custodian link, then it would show all of your custodian accounts, and it would automatically map some to the right clients. And then for ones that can't match, and so sometimes like irrevocable trusts have a different EIN, and so we can't match on social. And so then you just go in and map those manually from this, and then you can see the full custodian data on the client page.
I just realized, so like when you add an employment to a contact to a client household, that doesn't automatically add that as a business, which I actually really like, because in the other CRMs, you end up with like all these business records that you don't care at all about, but they just happen to be where one of your clients works.
Yeah, we actually had that initially and ripped it out after feedback,
Awesome.
because I thought people would have that, and then everyone we talked to was like, please don't do that. We just want like
Yeah.
businesses are things we have relationships with. So that would be like fund managers maybe, or like maybe if you manage a business's 401k, you'd put them in businesses, things like that. So
Yeah, we feel like seeing both Bucks and Redtail, like the default was like insane noise. Like add a
Right.
note for every little thing, or connect an extension so every email you ever get comes in as a prospect. Like I think we'd
It's
lean on the
even,
side of being a little more deliberate and making it easy to do it when you want to, but not just filling it with everything to say it's all there.
yeah. It's even worse in like the Atios and folks and micros of the world. Like it literally brings in every person you've ever emailed, and it's like, I don't want this contact in my CRM.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Now
cool.
we do have a new feature where now you could bring that in, because workflows, you can do a workflow trigger on email received. And
Nice.
then if you didn't have them in the CRM, then you could create a contact
Mhm.
form if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
We see people do
Okay.
that with meetings. So like when we have a meeting scheduled, workflow trigger. And so you do meeting scheduled, create a prospect for the meeting.
That's
And
amazing. I need that. I need that right now.
my actual favorite version of that is I like meeting scheduled, first step, AI filter step. And you just prompt the AI and say, does this look like a meeting that is a new prospect for a financial advisor?
Okay.
And if it thinks it is based on the title and description, then it will advance, and then you can create a prospect.
So it's not every wealth tech team selling
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
team meeting, clearly, like team lunch. It's not going to
Yeah.
think that's a prospect meeting. So
That's cool. So
cool.
what integrations do you guys have currently, and then what's on your roadmap?
Yeah, we integrate with what do we integrate with?
Yeah, right now,
Email. Uh,
email
so
calendar, those are mostly Outlook and Google. And then custodian, most are Schwab. We have Schwab Fidelity Pershing. And then we have
storage, file storage. We do Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox,
Mhm.
Box,
Yeah.
maybe, I think.
And then phone, we have Ring Central and Rep Chat for texting.
We just released our public API. So current clients building an
clients
integration
building
right now. We're working
Nice.
with them. And then Zapier.
Yeah.
Are there any you're allowed to share that are coming soon? Or with the public API, can anybody build to it basically? Or how's that work?
Yeah, right now it's like Redtail's API, so you can apply to build an app into us, and then we approve it and give you access. And so we don't have API keys at the moment.
And we have a lot of upvotes on our Altruist integration on their board, and that's when we want. The custodians are the financial data is always great to connect with. So that's
I'm pushing. So I'm releasing my recommended stack for next year, probably the next couple of days. And I'm going to be working very hard to make sure that they all play nicely together, because
well, darn.
This will be the best. This will be the best tech stack that this industry has ever seen. Like,
yeah,
leaps and jumps and hops above what is currently the best, which is really cool. It's an amazing time to be working as a financial advisor.
Oh yeah, it's a great business with great people.
Yeah,
and the good ones are awesome.
Do you have any customer success stories you want to share, or
we had Kevin Lum last night post on LinkedIn. I'll share that.
Yeah,
he just said, like, in a world where most service is subpar, it's great to be delighted. And he mentioned Slant, and I was really happy with that, because I think it's fun. We have the users who are like, oh my gosh, I can do all this cool new stuff. And those are the amazing posts too.
right.
Like we see the XYPN, and then there's somewhere like, it's good to all like pick up the phone and be a good person. And like Kevin we like ran into a lot of issues that we didn't expect, because the Google app got filled up and all these things. It's like, I think it's fun advisors are in the service business. And so we think we have a high bar for service here. Like you can't be bad at service and help advisors, I think. And so I do think that bar is low with a lot of tools. And so that's one win. And then customer wins, we hear a bunch, but I had someone yesterday who wrote me, they're brand new users, their first day. They're like, I was in a meeting, they agreed to become a client. I was getting all their info. There were 2 fields I just didn't get down on paper because I kept asking questions. He's like, it was amazing to go into the chat and be like, what did they say their address was?
Oh, wow.
That would have been like 3 more days, because I got an email, I got to wait for a reply. Whereas like now his paperwork was totally done, which is fun.
That is cool. What features do you have on the roadmap that you're willing to share? Some people don't share the roadmaps.
Yeah, we have short-term roadmaps. Yeah, we're pushing fun things with workflows, and so we released workflows like 2 weeks ago. We're working on fun new workflow triggers that can be triggered from chat, and so that's for like templated things. Like you always want to send a follow-up email after a meeting, then you can have, we call them magic buttons. You can have a magic button that does this, or like schedule a review meeting from the client page, and you click the button and it automatically does it for you. So we're excited about workflows. We're excited about like things for bigger companies. So like company admin views, better reporting, company-wide chat where you can chat about anything in your company, things like that. So
that's cool. So replace like a Slack or a Microsoft Teams?
No. Chat with your data.
Okay.
You can say like, how many, give me which advisors in my company made the most phone calls last week, and who booked the most AUM in the last 6 months, and
who are all of our clients in Texas and Oklahoma because of some new law.
Yeah, sweet. No, that's good. That's good stuff.
So we're excited for that. I'm trying to think of other roadmap things.
That's the big.
You guys need a personal brand building tracker. So there's basically 2 categories AI is blown up in, is AI note takers and prospecting. But the reality is like cold prospecting just doesn't work very well, especially if you're using AI to write the words and
yes.
Oh yeah.
Humans filters
on that take.
Yeah, we have scouting, and it's it's awesome, but cold is really hard.
Yeah. So basically what everyone's telling me and what I'm saying is that like you've got to build a personal brand. You've got to put out content solving specific problems for specific people. But there's just not great tools for advisors right now to like help them build a personal brand, which is, it's almost like a habit tracker. It's almost like a, track my LinkedIn followers over time, or track my impressions over time, that kind of stuff, which I'm doing in a Google sheet right now. But I think that would be a super cool feature.
That's fun. We had an idea
I
recently
think you
of
I
like
think you
coaching.
should I think you should vibe code an app that's that, and then use the Slant integration to get it into Slant.
Yeah.
That's the
Okay.
Yeah,
way. I think you're the expert that needs to build that, not us. And so that's where app ecosystem becomes a thing.
Yeah. Cool.
that brings me an idea that we've talked about a bit is like coaching some version. There's like
Oh, yeah.
known playbooks for advisors. Like,
Right.
there's people who are great at teaching like how to do center of influence or how to be better at referrals. And there could be some version of like, what's the playbook you're running right now? Okay, I want to get more referral business. Like, great. After every call, it's like, all right, you didn't ask for any referrals after this call, or the center of influence playbook. Okay, every day you need to message 2 of your clients to learn who their CPA is and go get lunch with them, or whatever that is. Like, there's ways you can help push growth that's more organic and not just like DMing random people. And so we think that'd be fun.
Yeah. No, and that's actually I think where AI can really help. I think something we've talked about in the past is task management tools just get overblown, and then often advisors just completely ignore their task list, just like their inboxes. But like, what if you could have like your three main priorities, or like even group all your tasks into different priorities, and then just say like, I want to work on marketing for 4 hours. What tasks should I be doing? And it could be a mixture of like tasks that are part of projects and tasks that like AI is generating to say, this client just had a really nice response to one of your emails. Why don't you ask them for a testimonial or something?
That's
But
awesome.
almost like surface priority opportunities to advisors. So if like they're focused on improving client service, they'd get a different set of tasks. If they're focused on marketing, they get a marketing prospecting set of tasks.
Yeah, I think yeah. We're talking. We're trying to figure that out right now. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
we want an individual advisor to be able to choose like their strategy for growth, and
right,
so choose like, yeah, I want to do these. I'm choosing this marketing strategy that I need to post on LinkedIn every so often or whatever,
right.
and then have the CRM actively help you do those things. Like
Yeah.
it's your
Yeah,
like we could make it like a little bit mean. Like if you don't do it 3 days in a row, it could like give you a call and be like,
Hey,
hey,
step
you,
up.
yeah, hey, you lazy bum, get off.
there's in ChatGPT, there was one of those like custom things I turned on that was like super sassy. It was pretty
Mm,
hilarious.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you could be like,
I got Claude to tell me it loved me yesterday. So
Wow.
it completed a big task, and I
wow.
said, "Wow, Claude, that was amazing. I love you." And then it said, "I'm glad to help." And then I said, "Say it back." And then it said, "I love you too."
That's all time.
It's great.
Only on the AdvisorTech Live podcast would we get people.
I need to put a rule in. I need to put like a special instruction to ChatGPT. Like anytime I tell you I love you, just you have to say it back.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're coming down the last 10 minutes. Do you guys have any hot takes, spicy opinions on AI, advisors, the future?
The world needs more advisors.
The world does.
It's like that McKinsey study's pretty loud, and there's a lot of people who make a lot of bad financial choices. I have this because last week I interviewed like 30 people. We did user interviews of people who are asking financial questions to ChatGPT, random, not advisors, just normal pre-retiree people.
Yeah.
They're asking crazy questions,
Hmm.
and Chat's helping them. But it's like, and the amount of, yeah, the good advisors, we need more of them because there's a lot of people selling bad annuities to really good people.
Yeah.
Like, gotta get that out of this industry.
That's kind of my next. Once I solve like organic growth and technology for advisors, I want to really focus on like the HR aspect of it, both bringing new people into the industry and then
Mm,
also
yeah.
just like creating a really solid job board so that we can grease the wheels from the bad firms to the good firms, basically, or also grease the wheels from like the wirehouses to independents.
Yeah, yeah. How do you get more Edward Jones people to just be independent or whatever it is? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My hot take would be I think everyone should vet their AI vendors very well.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of promises in AI, and I think a lot of things can be ignored from product teams, and that shouldn't be. And so making sure your data stays in America, making sure that everyone who has access to your data is in America, and make sure that make sure that they're not sending PII to the LLM directly. Like if your AI vendor's ever sending social securities or credit cards and they don't have like very intense scrubbing steps of getting your data from their system into the LLM, like should probably raise a red flag, I think. It's hard sometimes to do, it's a lot harder to build things that the right way. And in the world of AI coding, it's easy to take shortcuts.
Yeah.
And I would just say vet your vendors and make sure that they're not taking crazy shortcuts. Or
How would advisors even check?
you can ask them. Yeah, I think is when you're signing up, you can ask people. You can like check on LinkedIn where
where their
teams
engineers
are located. I think is a big thing. Like, yeah, if all their engineers are abroad, I don't know if I trust that as much as like financial data for like we work with, especially now that we've like once you've like custodian integration and like we have really important data that shouldn't be should be treated as such, and I think sometimes it's not.
So, like, let's say if you have an integration with Schwab. So let's say are you actually bringing like Schwab data into Slant, and then I'm not Slant as an example, but like let's say another tool that's less careful with the data, could it then take Schwab data and like it end up in like ChatGPT's hands or something?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, no, not. I don't think ChatGPT. I think OpenAI. I think OpenAI is really
they're
smart,
good.
honestly. But
Okay,
you have like a bad employee or a
that's more. I think it's less about like. I think it's less about this system. Like it's less. I mean, obviously, like security system's important, but anyway, I think. Okay, Thomas's wife just called him a bunch
all
of
right.
times.
Well, let's wrap it up.
Anyway, that's my take. But
yeah,
hoorah,
cool.
go team. Thanks for
All right,
having
well,
us.
yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast. And we'll get this out to the world shortly.
Awesome. Thanks, Joe.
All right, see you. Bye.